Hey Edge Kids! Good morning! I am so happy to be back again this week. We have had a great month so far, uncovering all of the ways we can be creative and seeing how God wants to use your creativity in the world around us. Creativity, if you remember, is imagining what you could do because you're made in God's image. God's creativity is, what is it? Limitless. And since we're made in God's image, we can be creative too. How cool is that? Just look at God's creation. He made some crazy and amazing things. Sometimes, even the things we think are pretty obvious or normal have a purpose we would never expect. Take a look at this picture. For example, did you know dogs have really loose skin? Do you have any idea why? Well, have you ever seen a wet dog? If you have, you might know why the loose skin is helpful. Take a look at the next picture. A wet dog can shake off 70%, that's almost in its entire body, of water from its fur in just 4 seconds because the loose skin moves so fast. That's pretty cool, right? Look at this next picture. Did you know butterflies have feet, but they don't use their feet for walking? What do you think they use their feet for? Do you know? Well, look at this. Butterflies have feet so they can taste their food. That is so crazy. Their feet have special sensors on them that let them taste anything that they land on. Crazy. God's creativity is mind-blowing and it's indescribable. And since God made us like Him in His image, we can be creative too. I hope you guys enjoyed that, and I hope you enjoyed learning some of those cool things. Now, before we hear our Bible story, we're going to get up and dance and be creative with our dance moves. Bye.
Spinning. You made the ocean and everything in it, and you made the sky so blue, and you made every other color too. You made the sun, you keep it shining. You put the moon up in the midnight sky, and everything around me created by you only. I just wanna thank you, 'cause everything you made is so beautiful. Every single star and every beat of my heart, and it's beautiful. You made my feet, you made my hands, you made me sing and you make me dance, 'cause your love is all around me, and your love is so astounding. I just wanna thank you, 'cause everything you made is so beautiful. Every single star and every beat of my heart, and it's beautiful. Here we go, break it down now. Everything you created with your imagination is wonderful and good, wonderful and good. You're my inspiration beyond all explanation. You're wonderful and good, you're wonderful and good. Everything you created with your imagination is wonderful and good, wonderful and good. You're my inspiration beyond all explanation. You're wonderful and good, you're wonderful and good. I just wanna thank you, 'cause everything you made is so beautiful. Every single star and every beat of my heart, and it's beautiful. I just wanna thank you, 'cause everything you made is so beautiful. Every single star and every beat of my heart, and it's beautiful.
The Bible. It's 66 books of history, Stories, letters, and poetry that fit together to form God's one big story. The epic adventure of how He created us and loves us so much that He made a way to rescue us. As we travel through the Bible, from Genesis to Revelation, we discover people who met God and found their lives changed forever. Now, for an amazing story. Inspired by the Book of Esther.
Esther was the queen of Persia.
Wait, what? Queen?
Esther didn't become queen in the usual way. See, her father wasn't a king, and she wasn't from a noble family.
It's just me and cousin Mordecai.
In fact, Esther was Jewish. Many of God's people had been captured and brought to Babylon when their home, Judah, was conquered. Then Babylon was taken over by Persia. So Esther grew up in a land that wasn't her own. When Esther's parents died, her cousin Mordecai raised her as his very own daughter.
Always remember what our scriptures say. Love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul. Love Him with all your strength.
One day, a new king named Xerxes came to power in Persia. He was so impulsive that he actually fired his queen, Vashti, simply for refusing to show up at a wild party.
She will never see me again.
When Xerxes had finally calmed down, he had realized he now had no queen.
I have no queen.
He would have to find a new one.
I must find a new one.
So the king decided to hold a contest. He ordered his officials to gather the most beautiful young women in the land and put them through an entire year of beauty treatments. Esther was one of those girls chosen.
Cousin Mordecai, what do I do?
Don't tell anyone you're from a Jewish family.
I have chosen my new queen. Drum roll. My new queen is Esther.
Me?
Assume the queenly royal crown. I might have to resize it.
Just as Xerxes had so impulsively switched queens, he also promoted a royal official named Haman higher than all of the other nobles in the kingdom.
Bow to me, you fools!
Haman was delighted when all of the officials outside the palace bowed low before him. When he discovered that Mordecai refused to bow, he was enraged.
You have to bow! Somebody make him bow!
Haman was so angry. He made a plan to destroy not only Mordecai, but all the Jews in the land. He laid it out for the king.
Your Majesty, these Jews live differently than everyone else. They don't obey your laws.
Fiddlesticks! That's just wrong.
Precisely. Give the order to destroy them.
Consider it done.
Xerxes agreed to the terrible decree. Messengers took the letter all over the kingdom.
Hear ye, hear ye. On the 13th day of the 12th month, all Jews are to be killed. Hear ye, hear ye.
When Mordecai and the other Jews discovered the horrible news, they dressed in rough clothing and wept bitterly. Mordecai sent a message to Esther in the palace, telling her what Haman had done.
You must ask the king to save our people.
Esther was devastated. She sent a response to her cousin.
No one can come before the king unless he sends for them. If I do it, I'll die, unless he reaches out his gold scepter to me.
Mordecai sent his answer right back.
You may not escape, even though you're queen. Who knows? It's possible that you became queen for just a time like this.
He's right. Here, tell this to Mordecai. Gather all the Jews. Don't eat anything for 3 days. I and my servants will fast too. Then I'll go to the king.
Esther faced an impossible dilemma, but she took 3 days to prepare her heart and her mind.
Bring my most beautiful royal robes.
Heart racing, Esther entered the throne room. Across the long hall, she saw the king seated high on the throne. Breathless, she waited for him to see her.
Please, please, please.
The king looked up. His dark eyes locked on Esther's face. And then he smiled. He reached out his golden scepter.
Thank God.
What is it, Queen Esther? I'll give you anything, up to half my kingdom.
Esther could have made her request right away, but she knew she would have a better chance if she made the king curious.
King Xerxes, if it pleases you, come to a feast I prepared today. Oh, and bring Haman.
Consider it done.
Esther created an elaborate feast for the king and his number 2 official.
Look at me, you peasants, invited to the queen's banquet.
At the meal, King Xerxes once again tried to discover what Esther wanted.
I'll give you anything, up to half my kingdom.
Once again, Esther held her ground and waited for the perfect moment.
I'd like you and Haman to come to another feast tomorrow. Then I'll answer your question.
The king agreed, and Haman spent the whole evening bragging to all of his friends.
You guys, the queen thinks I am the bomb.
But the second feast was a different story. As before, Esther prepared an incredible meal. Both Haman and the king were quick to dig in.
What do you want me to do for you? I'll give you up to half my kingdom.
Esther took a deep breath. Something told her this was the right moment.
Your Majesty, let me live. Please spare my people. We have been sold to be destroyed.
Haman paled and choked on his fillet, but the king's face flushed red with rage.
Who is the man who has dared to do such a thing?
Esther turned her gaze on Haman.
Haman is the one.
In a panic, Haman threw himself at the queen.
Totally didn't mean it. Please, please, please let me live.
You dare attack the queen? Take him away.
That very night, Haman was killed, and the king created a new order that would allow the Jews to be saved.
We will celebrate this day with great joy.
God had given Esther a surprising position in a foreign nation, and when the time was right, she would use all she had been given to save her people.
What is up, my Edge Kids peeps? I miss you guys so much. I just want to be in this room having fun, but guess what? Lord willing, we will be back here. We'll be shooting some hoops. We got some cool new games. You guys, I'm just telling you, you guys can't see this, but it looks sweet in here, so I can't wait for you guys to be here. So, from our story today, God gave Esther an opportunity to do something important, an opportunity that no one else had. As queen, she could be the one to speak up and save her people from death. Talk about a purpose. Later on, God would send his own son with an even bigger purpose, to save the entire world. Because Jesus came to be our Savior, we can have a relationship with God that will last forever. Remember that God has a purpose for you too. Sometimes it can be tough to see it. You might wonder why certain things happen in your life, especially when it's something that you didn't expect. Even then, though, remember that God may be giving you an opportunity to do something important. He may be giving you a chance to use your creativity to do something that really matters. God created you for a purpose. Can you guys say that with me? God created you for a purpose. If you're trying to figure out what your purpose might be, here's something that might help. Pay attention to the gifts God has given you. Think about the ways he's made you unique. Think about the kinds of creativity he shared with you. Think about the things that excite you. Or think about the things that make you sad, the things you really want to try to fix. Maybe you have the skills and ideas to help solve them. Maybe there's someone who needs the kind of help only you can offer. God created you for a purpose, guys. You can spend your whole life learning and growing and discovering more and more about what he's made you to do. I challenge you this week to dig a little deeper into that this week and ask God what his purpose for your life is. I love you guys, and God bless.
Good morning, Edge Kids. Thanks for joining us today. I'm so excited to have you guys here watching this video with us. I have a super cool little experiment we're gonna do today. So we are gonna mix some colors together today to make new colors using just cups, paper towel, and some food coloring. Do you guys think we can do it? All right, let's see. So, like I said, we have water. I have just a pitcher of water here with me today. And then I have my paper towels. So you're gonna need 5 pieces of paper towels. And then you're gonna need to fold the paper towels up. So I have mine like this, and then I just folded them hot dog style in order to make strips like this, so thinner strips. Because we're gonna need the thinner strips in order to put them in our cups like this, so it looks like a bridge. So then after you fold your paper towels, I folded all mine up. You're gonna have 5 of them, like I said before. I put them to the side, and then I grabbed my food coloring. So today we are gonna use 3 different colors for our food coloring. We're gonna use blue, yellow, and red. So those are the 3 colors we need. And then we need 6 cups. So I have mine lined up here. I'm gonna use small plastic clear cups. You guys can use cups you have at home, plastic cups, regular cups, glass ones. Anything will work. If they're clear, it'll be cool for you to see because you can see more of the colors that change in there. So I would just suggest clear ones. So I have 6 of them, like I said before, and then I just lined them up right here in a line. I have seen this done in a circle as well. So that might be cool to test out if you guys want to place them in a circle and see how that works out. But today I'm going to show you guys how to do it in a line. So line them all up like this, and then we are going to fill them with water. So this part, I'm going to start with my first cup over here in line, pour water in this one. Just about to right there. I filled it about 3/4 of the way up. And then the next cup, I'm gonna leave empty. And then the 3rd cup, I'm gonna fill with water. And then we're also gonna skip the 4th cup and leave that empty. And our 5th cup, we are gonna fill with water. And then our 6th cup is going to be left empty as well. So the reason we skipped the cups is I am going to add food coloring to the cups that have water. And then the cups that are empty right now, those are the ones where the water is gonna transfer into there to make a new color. So we're gonna see how well that works out. So my first cup, we are gonna put red food coloring in. So I'm gonna probably put about 4 drops in. And give it a little shake so it mixes together. And then like I said before, we're gonna skip the 2nd cup. And then the 3rd cup that has water in it, we are gonna put yellow food coloring in. So again, probably 4 drops is a good amount. Then I'm gonna give it a little shake so it mixes up. Skip the 4th cup and put the food coloring in our 5th cup that has the water in it. 4 drops in there as well. Give it a nice little shake, mix it up. So after you get your food coloring all set in your cups and you have your empty cups ready to go, the next step is we're gonna take our paper towel and we're gonna form our bridge. So to do this, you have your folded paper towel and you're gonna place it like so, one end in the cup that has water and one end in the empty cup in between it. So I'm gonna get started with this one. So I'm gonna place one end in my red cup and one end in my empty cup. And then I'm gonna place another one that has one end in my empty cup and one end in my yellow cup. And just keep going. So one end in my yellow cup and one end in my empty cup. Keep going, one end in my empty cup and one end in my blue cup. And then one end in my blue cup and one end in my empty cup. And then this is the part where it starts absorbing into the paper towels. And we're gonna go ahead and let it sit for a couple minutes, and then we should be able to see the colors start to walk along the paper towels and into the other cups to mix and make new colors. So the yellow is already absorbing pretty well. The blue looks like it's absorbing into that pretty well as well. Our red is going. So we are just gonna let it sit, and then we're gonna re-look at it in a couple minutes. So we waited a few minutes and it looks like it worked pretty well. So we have our red cup that we started out with here, and then it transferred over into this cup, as well as the yellow transferred into this cup to make like an orange color, which is pretty sweet. It went across the paper towels and into the other cup. And then we have our yellow transferred with our blue to make a cool green color. And then our blue transferred into its own cup over here at the end. So our rainbow walked across the paper towel into the separate cups. I think it's pretty sweet. What do you guys think? Yeah? Do you think you could do it on your own? Maybe experiment at home? I would love to see you guys put it in a circle and see how you guys do it that way and see how it turns out. That would be super sweet. So this is our rainbow experiment. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope you enjoy making it at home. Thanks so much for joining us, guys. Have a good rest of your Sunday. See you next time.